It's going on there. Hello, 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 everybody. I'm having a conversation today with Denise Dookoo. I'm Romany Thresh, and I love to talk about other people's stories, love to hear their stories, because these are people that are making a wonderful impact in their communities. So hello, Denise, and welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello to everybody.
Hi. So tell us, so Denise is from the business eZone. She's the franchise manager, and it falls under the Angels umbrella. And I invited Denise to come and share her stories with us because I've been monitoring Denise gallivanting all over the country with the eZone. Well, not all over the country, mainly in the north. I believe it's very hot where you are. Let us know where you are.
I'm in Dakar at the moment. It is extremely hot here at the moment. So we have the heat, and then we have a thunderstorm, and then we have the heat again. And you would never say that it actually rained a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yes, and the rain does bring on the heat. It really does. And if you're having a hot flush like I'm right now, 42 degrees is not a good thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So hello to everybody out there. Let us know where you're from if you are out there. But yes, please share and like this because these guys are doing great stuff in their communities, not just the business eZone, but a lot of other projects. So I'm going to ask Denise a little bit about the business eZone. How does that work? What is it all about? Because I also noticed recently, which I'll get into that conversation just now, but tell us a little bit about the eZone business. How does it work and what is that all about?
Okay, so eZones are it's centers, business centers that the communities can come and access the internet. They can come and access information. They can come and do the business registrations, any statutory requirements for their business, including SARS, CIPC, CSD. You won't know all the acronyms, but anybody who is an entrepreneur or is in business knows these acronyms. And of course, we do CIDB registrations for entrepreneurs as well. These eZones are located specifically in areas where communities don't normally have access to SARS. Well, where we are in there is no SARS office, there is no CIDB office, so we the liaison between the two. And we help these small businesses to register and become compliant so that they can compete in the bigger economy.
Now, I noticed, I mean, just so that people can get a bit of context, I mean, these are eZones that are like mini buses that go around the place. They are packed with there's a print inside. What are all the facilities that one can access in the eZone?
Okay, so let us get some context. We've got the physical eZones, which are offices located in communities, and then we have the mobile units. And these mobile units are equipped with computers, printers, Wi-Fi, tables and chairs, and so on, so that when people come, when we go into a community and we park off in a community, people can come and sit and do all the required registrations that they need. They can come and do e-filing. They can come and do registration with CIPC. If they need certified documents, we can copy those documents for them. We try and park near to a police station so that they can, just jump or run into the police station and get their documents certified. So we try and make it as easy as possible for them to access those services.
Yes, because sometimes in some of the local areas, there's not those facilities. I mean, I saw recently you were busy with school, helping them register. What were they busy registering? Because it seemed like you had a lot of people there. So I kind of get the impression that there's not a lot of facilities in those areas where people can do such stuff.
Well, the project with the schools was through two of the IPPs in the Northern Cape. One was Karosuk Solar, and then we also went to Louisfontein, which was They've got the Ludwigsfontein wind farm, and they also have the Cobab wind farm. We help
Okay.
those, we help those service providers to deliver services to the matriculants. The matriculants in the Northern Cape do not have or aren't easily able to access applications. And you know what the problem that we have in the schools today is that there is no guidance for the children to access a career or access any information that they might need for a business. You know, even if they wanted to start a business, they wouldn't know where to start. Teachers are unfortunately focused more on administration than anything else. So it is a bit difficult for the teachers to be able to give them that kind of information, even find that kind of information. So we went around to all the outlying communities, places like that I'm sure you haven't even heard of: Lambrechtsdrift, Grootdrink, Topline, Wegdraai. These are places that we don't even know exist, but there are people actually living there. And
Sure.
the schools in those areas are probably only have about 20 matriculants at a time. So we went around to help them to think about what they were going to be doing next year after matric, um, help them to apply to tertiary institutions, and then also help them to apply to NSFAS. A lot of them didn't even know that there were bursaries available for them. What happens
Sure.
in these communities is that they get to matric, they go and look for a job on the nearest farm, and because they don't have access to information or access to funding to go and study further, that's where it ends. They look for a job on a farm for about a couple of months, and then that's it. Next year again for a couple of months, and that's it. And that is unfortunately what has been happening in these small communities. Hopefully, with the access that we've given them now, a number of them will be able to go to tertiary institutions. Even if they start off doing a higher diploma or a higher certificate or something like that, at least it's a start so that they can
Mm.
get to a full degree and qualify so that they can get a proper job maybe. When I say a proper job, I mean, do you or I know what a proper job is? being an being an entrepreneur, you know, you're never in a proper job. Everybody says when you're running a business or you which a lot of young people are doing is just hustling. When they hustle, family members normally ask them, when are you going to get a proper job? But in the meantime, a lot of them could be earning much more money than you and I are earning who have a proper job. So I'm just hopeful that a number of the students that have applied for university get in, and that they get the bursaries that they need, and that they study hard and they come out with something that they'll be able to use.
Sure. That must be tough. It's almost like like one step back from the rest of, so if you think about people that live in this town, in the cities, they've got much more advantages and they can easily access facilities, as opposed to somebody that's sitting out there in one of these places that we don't even know exist. That
Absolutely.
Sure. So it's kind of vital in many ways, that because the internet is probably one of the biggest advantages in the world, and I guess, if we could, if government or whatever could focus just getting internet into those places, it would probably create
Yes,
better opportunities for people.
absolutely. I mean, it really broke my heart. These kids they're not stupid, they're not slow, they are clever kids. There's one
Sure.
boy that I met who he lost both his parents when he was in grade 10. He refused to go to work to fend for himself. He carried on with school. He's doing his matric exams now. And how he's supporting himself is through a SASSA grant, yes, but also weekends he works as a bricklayer. And he's proud to say that, weekends I work, I make sure that I have a job so that I can feed myself and that I can pay my school fees. He pays his school fees. He lives on his own.
Wow.
And my heart went out to this kid that, I mean, in the cities, the kids have all the opportunity. They've got access to everything and they give up so quickly. And here is this boy who just refuses to give up. He wants to make something of his life.
Sure, that almost brings tears to my eyes because it's also he's
Yeah,
like being responsible already, and that's the kind of person that you
absolutely.
just know has the drive and the attitude that if he's given the opportunity, he would run with it. So that's just what I'm picking
Mm,
up on that.
yeah,
So what I want to see is if I could share. I'm trying to
absolutely.
see if I can share a eZone here with everybody quickly. Um, just so that everybody can get an idea of what an eZone looks like. So that's one of the eZones, and there's a few that how many do you how many are there now
We've
at the
got,
moment?
well, we've got 2 mobile units which travel across the Northern Cape, and then we've also got like 3, 4 eZone, physical eZones.
Yes, one is in Fishhook, and
Yes.
the others are
One is
where
in
they
Fishhook,
live.
one is in Sunny Acres, and then we've got in the R, we've got 2 in the R.
Okay, okay. So I'm loving this because at least, this is giving people access to something that they didn't have before. And hopefully it will improve their opportunities of being able to explore their opportunities further because they're living in areas that, there's just no opportunities. So
No,
let's hope that helps their situation.
yeah. Well, the area that we were in Louisfontein, Louisfontein is 70 kilometers from Nieuwoudtville.
Oh,
Nieuwoudtville
yes.
is, I don't know if you know where Nieuwoudtville is.
I know, it's
If you,
on the mountain. It's all
yes, when you go over Van Rijn's Pass, you get Nieuwoudtville on your right, and there's a turn off to your left that goes to Louisfontein. And this little town has 13 matriculants this year, 1-3.
wow. Sure.
No science teacher, so the kids, none of them have taken physics or biology. No maths
Wow.
teacher, so none of them have done pure maths. And
Sure.
that just stifles their growth completely. I mean, it keeps the kids way back, and well, hopefully next year they'll be able to get a maths teacher in there. But I do see that it's the will of the principal. How you manage a school. A school is not a school anymore. It's a business, and it should be managed as a business. And the
Okay.
quicker a principal is able to see that, and there's lots of schools in smaller communities who can make it, who are making it, because the principals have changed their mindset that this is not just a school; it's a business now. So hopefully next year they will get a science teacher and they will get a maths teacher.
Wow. That's quite something. I see Lizalle's very proud. She's thanking Denise because all she hears is how busy the incubator is there in the background. All I see is lots of busy pictures of school kids signing up. So and it's really refreshing to see and really nice to hear. And just to give, I'm just trying to understand the context of you living in Norway. What is the potential of say an internet company actually, or is there any internet out there? What is the setup? What is the access? Are there actual towers out there?
Absolutely, no, there is. There's definitely towers. It's just that the access is still very expensive. The infrastructure is very expensive, and hopefully the Vodacoms and the MTNs of the world can. I know they do a lot of CSI, but I mean, we've got to look at what is more important. Is it giving kids laptops and tablets and then there's no access to the internet? Or is it actually making free internet available to communities?
Yeah.
All over the world, it's done. And then the bigger cities, I mean, Stellenbosch, they've made free internet available. So I don't see why it shouldn't be done and especially in the rural towns. Our kids in the cities still have access to, the hotspots that they can get access to, but there's actually nothing, absolutely nothing in the rural areas. which does make it very difficult for them to access information.
Yes, it would be. And, moving into the world that we're moving in, where everything is becoming very technology based, it's kind of vital. And I mean, in some countries, it's a human right to have that internet access. And I think it's something that we should, as South Africans, really start promoting or pushing forward for that. Because, even data, I mean, I see people buy data, 20 Rand data, 30, it's expensive, and again, it seems like internet is only available again to the privileged, the ones that can afford it, which is not really fair or right. And somehow we must be able to meet that ground way, middle way. So let's hopefully, if anybody's out there listening who knows the internet guys or has connections, let's see how we can change things going forward. How can we rebuild South Africa one step at a time? Because if we equip people with access, especially to the internet can serve. I mean, I remember we had dial-up internet or very slow internet at one stage, and then
I remember that.
Yeah, it was very frustrating to use the internet, so you kind of you just went on to go and do your emails and that, and you didn't know much else. And that's what I still find a lot of people do. They go on the internet, they just use, they get to access the email. They might just, look on Facebook, and that's about it. When I went overseas and I worked for this company and I had access 24/7 to internet, it was like, my eyes were just like jing, because then it was like my whole world open. I mean, I taught myself how to web design. I taught myself how to do graphic design. I taught myself how to draft letters, proposals. Even when I was doing a show many years ago, I still said to people, go out there, use Google. You can use that. It shows you everything. YouTube. And this one guy still sent me a message about a month later, and he says, Romney, thank you for that tip, because he taught himself how to tile, just from watching videos and stuff. So it can definitely empower people. And the way we and I think we really, where we are at the moment, it's time to rebuild our country, with or without this government. Just let's rebuild this country.
No, we need to step up and just do it.
Yeah, and that's what I love about Angels. That's what I love about the business eZones, is you guys are out there. I was saying to a friend of mine the other day, I can't grow vegetables. I just can't. I mean, I don't have the time to be on top of it every day. But it is a skill. It's a skill. It's something that people need to learn how to do, and especially if it's not your primary skill. But there's people that to grow, so let's all start just growing the food at least, or get something going. And so I was going somewhere with, so I'm like, this is what you guys do. You guys have got the agri program, you've got the business eZone, and how can we from the outside support you guys? How can we help you guys do what you're already doing? You guys love working on the ground, working one-on-one with the people out there, getting people equipped, empowered, training rural entrepreneurs. So you know what? The rest of us can support you.
Thank you so much.
So that's why I've invited to have a chat with you today, just to talk about the eZones. If someone wants to, I see Anna Marie is also, thank you so much for all that you're doing for all the communities throughout the Northern Cape. And Tombi is saying, beautiful Denise Dookoo. We are so proud of you. So yes, and I tell you what, I just
want to introduce you to Ntombi that she's talking about. That's Ntombi. She's my right hand and my left hand and my legs and my arms.
I know.
She's an amazing partner to have in this.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. So if people want to get involved in eZone, in an eZone business, or support an eZone, how would they go about doing that?
The best thing would be to contact either myself or Lizelle, and we will guide them through the process. The eZones are franchises that are sponsored. The first 3 years, it must be a sponsored franchise, so that we can get the franchisees up and running, strengthen them, train them, in that 3 years. And once the 3 years is over, we then hand the eZone over to the community. So the community becomes the owners of the eZone.
Okay.
So yeah, and what we found here in the Alpha instance is that once that's handed over to the community, they take ownership and they look after it. You know, it's not somebody else's business. Although it does become a PTY in the end, they still see it as a way for them to access information. They see it as a way to support the business, and they go out and they go and tell all their friends. I mean, we've been helping some of the reps from Coca-Cola, for instance, to do their e-filing. One person came in. Within 3 days, I had 12 people coming in, just phoning me and sending me documents and saying, please help, I need your help. And that is how the word gets around. And I always say to the clients, if we helped you and we did a good job, please tell your friends. If we didn't help you, please tell us so that we can improve. So it's been an amazing journey with this eZone. Initially, you know, we got to make sure that what we turn over is able to cover salaries and cover all the overheads that there is. That's the initial struggle. So that is why it has to be a fund. It has to be sponsored through a funder, so that we can overcome those hurdles first. And after the 3 years, they stand on their own and they've got to pay everything themselves, which is happening here at eZone in the art.
That sounds exciting, because at least you walk in the journey with the person. You know, when you start, a lot of people start a business, they normally on their own and they're having to support themselves, or even go through challenges by themselves. Whereas in this situation, you're kind of hand-holding, showing them the ropes and how it works and everything, because we do face challenges and we do face hurdles, and this can kind of help people overcome the hurdle. So I'm very thankful and grateful to have a chat with you today. I see Cindy is saying empowering people is the key to making a difference in our country. Love what you're doing with the youth, Denise. Much love and missing you here at Angels in Fisher. So yes, you're very loved and cared for. And we all love what you're doing. So thank you for joining us today, all the way from the Northern Cape.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. If you're interested in finding out more about the business eZones, which is under the umbrella of Angels, I will post a comment in the comment box where you can just click on the link and find out how you can get involved. So eZone, business eZones are looking for funders to sponsor young people to have their own eZone business, mini franchises in the communities. And let's see if we can try and get internet out into the places that we don't even know exist. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.